Hey, it's Squidly. Today I'm going to be hiking the Big Tree Loop using the White Oak Hollow shortcut. And the point of this video is to show you how to navigate the White Oak Hollow shortcut, because it's not a designated trail, it's not maintained, and some places there's clearly a trail, and some places it's a little sketchy and you have to kind of know where you're going. So that's the point of it. And if you're interested in knowing how to use the White Oak Hollow shortcut, stick around. I am at the Thompson Trailhead. Trail 206 goes up that way, and Trail 208 goes that way. Now, you can access B Branch and that canyon where the big tree is by going up that way and then taking 204. That route is easier, but it's longer, it's less scenic, and isn't nearly as interesting. The one for the White Oak Hollow, you start out on 206, and it's shorter, but it's a lot more rugged, it's a lot more interesting, and it is really scenic. After only about a quarter mile in, you come to this creek. Trail crosses it. Trail continues right across there. You see the sign for 206 right there. And you gotta get across here. This is White Oak Creek. I think that's what this is. I don't remember. Anyway, but you gotta cross this, and then this is the intersection now where you get off of 206. And so across here, you continue up. There's a pretty nice campsite right here. And at this point, you really have to be careful to watch what you're doing, because 206 will continue that way. You see the sign, and the White Oak Hollow shortcut goes this way, and you can see a beaten path. So there is a trail, but there are places where the trail sort of just peters out. As you're following that trail, and you can see I'm still on it, you will pass a couple of pretty nice campsites along that creek. They are on the other side of the creek from this trail. And after those, the trail will sort of bend and start going up the hill. When it does, it's going to pass a really big house-sized boulder up here. I'll show you that. And then you will know you are going in the right direction. There's your boulder. It'll be on your right, and you're still on a pretty clear trail, so you should know that you're still in the right place. Whew. That was a pretty tough climb. It's not vertical, but it's just short of it. All right, so once you've made the climb, now you're going to be following this stream, and you'll go back and forth on it. I've never done this where I had to get my feet wet. You just jump across, tiptoe across on the rocks or whatever. There's a little bit of water in it, but not much going on with it today. So once you've made that climb, now you're following the stream, and it is generally going uphill, but I'm sorry for the heavy breathing, but that climb got me. It is going uphill, but the grade is so gradual that it actually feels really good. All right, so it's not a very long hike up that wash, and you can see behind me right here, that's the trail where I came up, And it kind of tops out up here on what looks like an old road bed. You can see that way and behind me. So once you get up here, this is an area that's kind of tricky if you don't know what to do. Because you're going to follow this old road bed seriously for just like a few feet. But if you go right, you'll follow that and it'll take you all the way back to Thompson Creek. And there is a wash to get back down. Otherwise, you're pretty close to being just kind of ledged up. But when you get up here, make a left. And you're going to go like where that log is, just past that. And then you're going to make a right back into the woods. And you're really up on a ridge line. And I'll show you what to do once you get up there to that ridge line. So you can see you're still following trail. You just have to watch for that trail to take a really sharp right turn back into the woods. But if you're watching for it, you won't miss it. And you will be on your way across this ridge. Once you get up here, it's really pretty flat. Give you a chance to catch your breath after that climb. That's what I'm doing. And then what's going to happen is you'll get to the other side and you're going to drop down into kind of another wash on the other side. Just as a side note, this wash on the other side used to be really clear trail. And then I think it was in about 2005. I guess it was right after Hurricane Katrina. There was Hurricane Rita. And when it came through, it clipped North Alabama. And it dropped a bunch of trees down in this canyon that we're going down into. And so the trail started just doing a bunch of windy mess around all the stuff that was blown down. So I haven't done this in a while. I wonder what it looks like now. I don't know. I guess I'm about to find out, huh? So once you get into this wash down on the other side, you are again following a stream, except this time instead of a gently sloping uphill, you got a gently sloping downhill. The only difference is with all that deadfall from 16 years ago, the trail sort of winds around some of the places where that stuff used to be. It's mostly not here now. It's, you know, the trees are decaying and they've collapsed down into the ground, so there's just not much left of it. But you see the stream there. Same thing, you sort of bounce back and forth over it a few times. There's going to be one pretty major exception to all of this coming up. So we've been following the stream right there, and the stream, of course, kept going a little bit downhill. We turned to come up just a little bit, a few feet, and you can see it drops off into a waterfall right there. It's not doing much. Hasn't been much rain lately. And it opens up into kind of a canyon down here. I've never been down there. I've passed it more times than I can count. So we're going to be up above that stream here for a while. And what's going to happen is we're going to abruptly drop back down to it. And this whole trip, this is the only place that I regard as kind of sketchy. When we get to that drop down, I'll show you, but it's not that bad. All right, so you start by coming down this, and I don't know if the angle will show, but so you start coming down, and then right in here, you make a pretty sharp drop. Usually there's some rope to kind of help you get up or down. I'm hoping it's still there. We'll see. All right, so I came down about where that trickle is. It wasn't nearly as tough as I remember, but it also wasn't muddy. I've done this before where it was nothing but just a mud slick, which made it extremely difficult. But anyway, so you come down about where that trickle is, and you're continuing to follow this wash. And doing a little rock hopping, a little bouldering, and now we're going down that way and then kind of up and around, and there's a rock wall right there. I'll show you that when I get down there. Now we follow this rock wall for a little bit, and it's going to drop back down to that wash, where that wash empties into West B Branch. Walking along this rock wall is so pleasant. Just a beautiful day, just a perfect day. But I now smell campfire smoke and hear some voices. If you're in the Sipsey on a weekend like this is, with really nice weather like this is, in the fall with the colors like this is, you can expect to see maybe not crowds, but you're definitely going to encounter people. And so just try to share the trail and be nice. All right, so coming down the hill after the rock wall, you'll know you're in the right place when the wash that you have been following here to the right empties into something a little bit bigger. It's not very big right now, but that is West B. And so we're going to get across that and make a right turn and go downstream until West B meets East B. All right, so you're going to come down to East B, and you're going to have to cross it. The intersection is right behind. There are people here. I hate to put them in a video, but you'll know you're there when you've got this big kind of mushroom-sized or mushroom-shaped rock. When you get to this, you have a choice to make. If you go left and follow the trail out, that takes you on the loop back to 206 or 209 and then 206 to do the loop back to the parking lot, or you can make a left and do an out and back to the tree, and you'll end up coming back by here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the out and back to the tree. Well, that concludes my instructional video on how to do the White Oak Hollow shortcut. I hope it helps. If you've never done it before, maybe as you watch this video, take some of the instructions down and take notes and carry them with you as a kind of a guide on how to do it, to make sure that you don't get turned around and get lost. That's so easy to do out here in the Sipsey. Yeah, believe it or not, this is the trail. Now is probably a good time to mention that the trail going up to the tree is not maintained. A lot of blowdowns. Good luck, and thanks for coming along.